Hi everyone, how's everyone doing here today? I was going to talk about something else, but this recent story came up, which I figured, I got to talk about it. It's kind of funny on the surface, but I'm not really laughing. And I talked about him before. It's in regards to Mark Robinson, who is currently the Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina, trying to be the governor. And I'm blanking who he's running up against, but for those of you who don't know, in a nutshell, he is pretty much a pretty despicable person. He has said things that are, just outright bigotry, from saying disgusting things about gay people, and hateful and degrading things towards women and stuff, and just overall a hypocrite. Now, recently it was put out that he either does or he did have somewhat of a porn addiction. That there was a particular place he used to go to routinely where he would watch adult films in these private booths. And sometimes he would bring pizza in there, allegedly, because, I don't know, that's pretty disgusting. Anyhow, supposedly they have like chat rooms in there and stuff. And he would either log in as his email or use his own email, and he regarded to himself as, I'm not going to say it, I watched it briefly on Reese Waters, where he didn't want to say the word either. We're just going to use the term the black nacho. Now, this is somebody who's been given full support by Donald Trump because, hey, one hateful bigot to another, why not? They all flock together and stuff like this. And this has created quite a scandal. And as I said, he put out a statement where he denied it and pretty much played the victim. I think he used some term like digital lynching or something like that. That's not a pleasant term to throw around. But, he's playing the race victim here, even though he said a lot of hateful things and a lot of bigoted things. And there are people that want him to now drop out of the race. Here's the question I have, which I'm kind of hung up on. What took you so long? Like, now you're saying you don't want him in the race because of this whole porn scandal, which I don't even care about the porn. It's like all the other stuff that led up to it, which I thought was pretty disgusting. I even said, can we stop nominating lunatics into positions of power? So it wasn't when he called LGBTQs, members of the LGBT community, filth. It's not when he said that we should go back to a time where women shouldn't be allowed to vote, or as far as abortion goes, women just need to keep their legs closed. He said something along those lines. Just the usual sexist misogyny and everything. Note that his wife got an abortion, so I guess she should have practiced what he preached. By the way, I'm not criticizing the wife. I don't know her or anything about her. I'm just using his words in that example and pointing out his hypocrisy. Okay? I've talked about how I am on the abortion issue, but with all that other... Oh, and he did this one thing as a pastor where he said, we need a killing. There should be a killing. He didn't specify who or what, but it's a pretty messed up thing to say, and people just cheered it on. So with all that, you didn't have any issue with Mark Robinson back then, but now this whole porn thing is coming out. Now some of you are saying, oh yeah, that's a problem. We can't have any of that. What the hell are you talking about? It just blows my mind that he's even the lieutenant governor, let alone, trying to become the governor, that he actually won the gubernatorial race. This is what I would say to the people of North Carolina, specifically the ones that voted for this lunatic. You deserve better than this. What are you doing? I'm being sincere when I say this. I'm not, it's fun to laugh at and joke at, because if you read more details about this, he said some pretty disgusting things. I mean, to me, far worse than anything else. And, as far as he likes to play the victim card, I'm not criticizing this guy because of the whole porn. It doesn't matter to me that he's black or African American or a person of color, however you want to label it. It doesn't matter to me that he's even a Republican. If he was a Democrat, if he was white or any other ethnicity, I'd still be thinking the same thing. Why do we keep putting lunatics in positions of power? He shouldn't even have gotten this far. When he was talking about the whole thing about going back to a time where women couldn't vote, I could hear women voices in the background laughing and cheering. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? He's attacking you. Do you, like, not have any self-worth or self-value that you're willing to sacrifice your right to vote? Because I have no problem believing that if he became governor, he would try and strip away your rights to vote. That he would put a nationwide abortion ban. And not just that, but, like, start doing bad things to other members within his state. I don't even live in North Carolina. I'm not even a Christian, and yet this whole religious angle he appears, which just further bolsters his hypocrisy, it makes me look at it and I find it offensive. I think it's ridiculous that we live in a country where somebody like this can rise to a level of power. Is Donald Trump not a bad enough example? He calls this guy like Martin Luther King on steroids. Like, better than Martin Luther King. Personally, the King family, I would be pretty outraged. And supporters and people who believe in Martin Luther King would probably find that offensive too. And yet here he is. And now this thing comes out. And now you guys are all outraged? You're all worried about, oh, we can't have any of this? If I went into this is the problem with our political system, is that people like this can get into power, and because some con man got his way into the White House, now we're starting to see more and more of this sort of stuff. People just saying vile things, and they get elected. And there are people out there, like, either because they're racist themselves, or, I don't know, they get duped into this whole thing. But that's the point. These guys don't do anything for you. As I said before, like, what are some of the accomplishments he's done as lieutenant governor for the people of North Carolina? Can you name any? Can you list any? Because these people are hired to do a job, and it has nothing to do with religion or his background as a pastor. It has to, serving the American people. Or in this case, serving the people of North Carolina, which I seriously doubt if he's doing. And there are some of you out there that think it would be a good idea to make him governor with all this vile stuff that he's saying. If I walked into a job interview and I said stuff like that, I would not get the job. They may laugh and chuckle a little, and some raise a few eyebrows. If I go in there and say, yeah, those LGBTQ people are filth and everything, we need a killing, but I'm the person that can get the job done. Hire me. They'd be polite, shake my hand, say, thank you for your time, have a good day, and then take my resume over the shoulder. If I said stuff like this at pretty much my current job or any past jobs I've had, I would have get fired. And yet he spews out all this nonsense in a political race, and some of you are, like, supporting him. Some of you, I think, might still vote for him, He's not going to drop out. I don't see that happening, even though some people are expecting him to, but it's the fact that he got there to begin with. People in North Carolina, you have the ability to stop this guy dead in his tracks and put him in his place. You want to watch porn and go into the booth and do the five-knuckle chuckle? Be my guest. But you're not going to do it as governor, and we certainly don't want you as lieutenant governor. Unbelievable. It's not just him, it's just other people like him. You can see this now, the fact that, like I said, Donald Trump got into office, now they're out in front and center doing the same thing. Have we not learned anything from all this? And again, it's not even a party thing I look at it. It's if this was a Republican in my state behaving this way, I'd look at this guy, I'm like, I'm not voting for this freak, this lowlife. And then it would come out now that he's heavy into porn. I'd be like, wow, is anybody surprised? And like I said, can we just please stop electing lunatics in North Carolina? You can do better. Send a message to this fool and just say, we don't want you, okay? Take your hatred, take your bigotry, take your hypocritical nonsense and go sell it to someone else, because you don't belong in politics. Yeah, I really want to laugh at it, because there is a funny side to it, but at the same time, it just amazes me how these things are still happening, how we, as a society, are not learning yet. So I hope we will learn some more by November, okay? Because there's a lot of things that need to change, okay? And I can tell you right now, certain individuals shouldn't be in power. So get out and vote and start choosing the right candidates, please, okay? For your sakes, okay? For our country's sakes. So anyway, thank you for watching. I really hope you understand.